Let me ask you this question for those that are listening that might be in the middle of a deal right now where they are the coordinator for that particular closing. What are some of the, like, what would you say are the top three biggest mistakes that you see investors make that are acting as their transaction coordinator in the closing process?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One, not talking to their seller and staying in very close contact. That is a big thing. You know, we see a lot in Facebook groups like, oh, this person stole my deal. Did they? I don't know, man. We're all working off the same list. There's no secret list of absent. There's no secret absentee owner list, by the way, guys. We're all calling the same people, right? Your seller, if you're running PPC, they went to your ad and then they went to somebody else's ad and they went to somebody else's ad and they filled them all out to see who was going to call them back first. So what happens is if your seller doesn't hear from you for 2 or 3 weeks, like, what do they think? Oh, I thought I was selling this house to Davey. He seemed like a nice boy, but man, he's not talking to me and not answering my call. So I'm going to talk to somebody else who is going to save me and not make me lose sleep over this house. We are in a trust economy. That's where we are at, right? This is why you need to have a presence on social media. And, you know, people need to trust that you are going to do the thing you said. And if not, they're going to go to somebody else and they are never coming back. It's very hard to rebuild that trust once you've broken it. So yeah, number one, stay in contact with your seller. The other mistake is just trying to tackle stuff that they don't understand, right? Or just thinking, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. Somebody else will figure it out. No, we go out and find problem properties. We need to figure out how to solve those properties. And, you know, the other one is just not asking good questions. You know, there was a time when I was very first started here in Chattanooga in 2009 and 10, I had this attorney, and it was First Title Insurance Company. They're here in Chattanooga, still active. The attorney that I had is sold. But anyways, so I went in and spoke to one of the assistant attorneys. I'd be like, bam, here's my contract. Lock it up, let's go. And every time, dude, I'm telling you, it was like, he would look at this paper and he'd be like, oh, Davey, this is a probate. You need to, dead people, you need to go probate it. Or, oh, this is in bankruptcy. You need to wait till they're done with bankruptcy. Like, it was always a problem.
Always
and this was,
something.
dude, this was the investor-friendly title company, right? And we nicknamed this guy Dr. No, because he was like the James Bond villain, right? Poor Jeremy, his name's Jeremy. Probably the nicest guy ever, but it was always no, right? Because these guys don't want to go over, and gals, they don't want to go out of their way to help you, right? Your crappy $25,000 deal is not going to make or break their day. It's honestly more of a headache for them. They don't want to fool with it. And it was always like, oh no, you know, we were never the top, even though we brought them a lot of business. So I got really good at asking better questions. And here's what happened one day. I'd been through like a slew of these. I'm telling you, it felt like 2 out of 3, they would get rejected. So I'd come from this lady's house, and very nice old lady, and like, I'm going to solve her problem. I'm going to buy this house. We're going to get wholesale. Boom, we're going to do it. Right. And he says, he's like, oh, some nonsense. Right. Like, and I'm like, Jeremy, like, I got a little outside myself with my attorney. I'm like, dude, I just told this lady we're going to close this deal, and then said some things I shouldn't say. And I'm looking at him, I'm mad, but then, you know, if you guys ever had this where in the back of your mind, you're like, oh shit, that was probably too much. Well, that's what's going through my brain. And I'm like, and I'm looking at him and he's looking at me and he's like, well, all right, I guess if you can get a death certificate and an obituary and we can get a couple people to sign, we can probably get this done. There's immediate euphoria and jubilation. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, wait a minute. How many deals have we thrown away that we could have closed that you told me no?
Yes.
That got me mad. Now I'm in my brain going, well, I know 5 times in the last year, there was another way to do this. Right? So it's not asking those good questions and being persistent and going, hey, okay, I get it, but what can we do? Right? Hey, what's the next step? So that's a place where I see people, you know, they don't do it and they don't know what the next question to ask is, right? Like if I went to the auto mechanic and they started telling me some stuff about my Grand Wagoneer, I'd be like, oh, okay, all right. How much you want? $1,800 to fix it? Seems reasonable. Because I don't know, right? It's not the thing I'm good at. Right. But one thing I can't be bamboozled at as a title company and in real estate. Right. So, you know, unless you're that person that has done all of those deals, like I promise you are losing deals from either not being at the right title company and not knowing how to ask the right questions.
That is a fantastic point because you don't know what you don't know.
No, I don't blame you. How would you know? I don't know wingamabob it is on the underside of my engine. I have no earthly idea. Not my job. I don't want to know. I'm not interested in that. I just want it to run really nice and smooth when I put gas in it. That's the extent, right? That's what you guys want. That's what you want as a wholesaler. I want to find a seller who needs some help. I want to put it under price or under contract at a fair price. I want to find a buyer. Bam, I want to make some money. And I want to take my kids to Disneyland. That's what I want to do, right? I don't want to be the title expert person.